Welcome to Calvin, the Digital Creative School.
Yo, what's up? Oh, wait. Oh no. Hey, what's up, everyone? I've got a little thing I need to fix before I can start this stream properly. Ba-ba-ba-bum. But yeah, in general, this is gonna be a pretty low energy chill stream because I am still a bit sick, so I don't have the most energy, but I wanted to still get stuff going and also look at the feedback submissions from the community and from my students. So let's slowly get started here. What I ask is in the chat. What's up, ask? Let me just quickly change the setting here because I just saw that my saving folder where I save my stream recordings isn't updated. So I need to quickly change that here. Output, recording. Okay. I can't change that while streaming. Okay, whatever. I'll just download the stream later when it's finished from Twitch or YouTube. Alright, guys. So, I'm gonna start this stream today with student submissions. So I want to prioritize them since they are the ones paying me. So let's do that. Okay, I think we have two, I think, here from, let's see. Submissions. I'm going to switch to my desktop view in a moment so we can watch this together. Oh, and also my desktop is not showing. Alright, this is interesting. Alright, let me quickly change that. Desktop, here we go. Secondary monitor. Okay, now we should have everything set up as far as I know, at least. V-Stress is also here, and Wrench. Hey, what's up, guys? Nice that you came back for the live stream. Alright, so what I'm gonna look at first is V-Stress submission here. I think he wrote that to me now. Oh yeah. V-Stress, next time, please make sure you write like in the submission also what you're looking for so I can have all the information in one spot. Because now I'm gonna switch over to our private conversation where I think you told me about this project. Stress. So you are looking for CG compositing. Okay, I think this is what we were talking about. I've been thinking about practicing some compositing using my old renders and to improve my CG compositing skills, especially in DaVinci and eventually in Nuke as well. But I'm a bit stuck on what I should focus on in the 3D scene, like what kind of elements to include and what to look out for in terms of what's working and what's not. I'd love to understand how to identify mistakes or weak points in the render that could be improved through compositing. Also, any advice how to push the compositing side further would be super helpful. Yes, okay, I think... Oh yeah, we're also writing here. But I also want to ask about render passes like V, miss, depth, and normal. I'm not sure how they work or how to properly use them in compositing. So any explanation or guidance would be super helpful. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's talk about some compositing stuff today then. Let's look at your submission again. I have this Blender project that you sent. I'm also still downloading your render passes since they are, they are 60 gigabytes big. That's pretty huge. I'm not sure if you used any compression inside of Blender because usually EXR renders don't need to be that big. I'll show you in a moment what I mean. Still opening the project. Go. Okay. Okay, I see you're all saving it here as a multi-layer EXR. Oh, yeah. Let me just check what kind of saving you use. Okay, so you're using full and zips, which compresses it a little bit, but doesn't really. Yeah, I mean the best settings you can have here, in my opinion, and they still seem to be pretty lossless, like no data lost, is using float half and DWAA. So this way you save a lot of memory, because yeah, as I saw, like this render seems to have been what was it, like 60 gigabits, 60 gigabytes, and it's only it's only like a few frames. Let me check and switch over to the viewport here. Vistris, if you're watching right now, is there any reason you chose that compression to like have those huge files? Did you get any limitations with the other compression methods? Let's see. Yeah, pretty huge. Too huge. Okay, with this I can't really see so much, I think. I'm gonna... Ah, you just forgot. Okay, I see. It's a bit laggy, this project file here. Okay, so... Wait, this is not the start of the animation, right? Where does it start? Oh yeah, it's all the way in the beginning here. So I guess just from from frame 0 then. Okay. Alright. Drone is moving in here. 12168. Yeah, okay, I got that now. Alright, let's look at your render. Did you also send that here? I don't think so. Yeah, I think you also just sent that to me in the private chat again. Let me grab that. Ah, no, it is in here. Yeah, I see it now. Okay. So yeah, so this is how it looks right now. And honestly, it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of like flickering I see, but that's mostly just like too low like too low amount of samples. So you would need a little bit more samples to like get rid of this flickering on the drone at the end. Is the background fully three-dimensional? Because it feels pretty 2D, like there's not really any movement or parallax happening. Oh, I guess there's a little bit of parallax with the building on the front here. Yeah, I guess everything is 3D. But like honestly, if you need a shot like this, just rendering out one still frame would have been enough for the background, and then just rendering out the drone in the foreground element as a separate render to save a lot of render time. Yeah, just a little tip, because it would work in the shot very well. Okay, so wanted some compositing tips. I think what I'm going to focus on first is the different render layers, because that's probably the most interesting part that will also open up a lot of possibilities for you. So since I'm still downloading the 60 gigabytes of render layers, it's going to take 30 more minutes. Okay, honestly, I'll just stop the download, because I don't think I need the whole render sequence for me to be able to show you some tricks. Ah, here we go. Now it's paused. Okay. So, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna save one frame like you have it here. We've got all of this stuff also. We've got all this stuff here. Okay. Render. Okay, yeah, so I guess I'll just be able to just overwrite this. Actually, I'll save it as a new version, in case I'm going to change anything that's also important for later. Carver v2. Okay, and now let's just render a frame. I want to make sure that I render a frame with the drone. Yeah, so let's just render this frame here. How's everybody else? How's everybody else doing? Sorry guys, my brain is really foggy with sickness, exhaustion. Oh, well, the whole scene is green in my. But yeah, that's interesting. Usually when there's like missing action, then it's violet or pink, not green. Hmm. I'm suspecting it's still a pink texture, but I guess you applied like a hue shift or something to it that makes it. The positing step is mostly denoising, right? I don't think there's any fancy stuff happening here outside of denoising. Check the world settings, might be HDRI issue. Okay, check that in a moment. Yo, Kim, what's up? Because I think the frame finished. Did you actually have UV enabled here? Yeah, UV is enabled. Okay. What? Shader here. It's, yeah, there is a hue shift here, so I guess there is a missing texture, and because of the hue shift, the pink, well, it's just getting shifted to green. Okay, but yeah, I think with the still render, we can do our test here. Utilities, render layer. Oh yeah, one frame is 82 megabytes big. Damn. I mean, even with the compression, right? Like I enabled the compression now. We can check all the render layers here. Cryptomat. Yeah, that's huge. But I guess even if we have the HDRI missing, I can still show you the different render passes and what you can do with them. Yeah, so let's take this into Fusion Resolve. I'm personally using DaVinci Resolve in Fusion to comp, but you can also do most of these same things in Nuke and other similar tools. So here we go. Just gonna drop in this frame in the timeline. Oh. Man, on the Valorant project, my compositing stage and rendering took like 15 seconds per frame to save. Yeah, because it's so huge. So many render layers. Yeah, I personally usually minimize the amount of render layers to only what I really need for each shot to just save space on the hard drive and also speed up the compositing workflow, because if your image sequence is huge, it's also gonna read it slower. So yeah. Okay. Let me change my workspace to Vision mid flow. Vertical? Yeah, there we go. So now we have a bit more space here. Okay. So I usually always have the media out, the final look on the bottom here, and then whatever I'm working on the top right. So let's select here our standard view, which should be RGBA. Yes, okay. And I've recently started using ACES for compositing. We can use here as input ACES CG and output yeah, whatever we want. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure. It doesn't look fully correct. Maybe it's because I need to select ACCG as also the output setting here. Color management override, ACES, ACCG, yes. Okay, let's render another frame with the ACCG selected now. See if that makes a difference. Okay, aces with layers, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that's gonna be huge, huge files. Oh, the camera is actually, wait, something with my, why is it clicking these things? What the hell? Why is it pressing something was just now? Correct. Yeah. We got Jaime Pena here. He says, notice that when the character exits through the door, only the arm casts a shadow if there's a light behind. Just want to point it out in case it's helpful. Oh yeah, I also had that problem once. It looked like a bodiless arm shadow in one of the examples I rendered. But I still thought people would be able to find a solution around that depending on their scene, because I also thought about creating a whole body, so you have like a shadow of a whole body, but that felt a little bit, to me at least, a little bit too complicated for everyone to work with, to have like a whole character animation in there. Yeah, so I just hope people work around that limitation or find cool ways to work with that. Oh, Kimmy, we're starting with the submission today. Very nice, very nice. I'm excited to see what you're doing. Okay, so we should have saved this now. So let's put this also in our timeline here. So the only difference that from our previous render is that we selected ACCG for the color space override. So let's see if that actually makes a difference. It says transform. Let me choose the correct layer first here, which is sRGB. RGBA. Then we got this input is this CG, and output is sRGB, I guess. No, it still looks the same, so I'm not sure if Resolve actually cares what you set in the color space. Oh, it does look a little bit different though. Or did I just select a different output transform here? GB Gamma 2.2. That's the same. Okay, so yeah, I guess it does make a little bit of a difference color-wise if you select SSCG directly in Blender or not. Interestingly. Yeah, it's just like a subtle difference, but there is a difference. Beastress asks if I tried the DaVinci 20. Yeah, this is DaVinci 20. And apparently they added built-in cryptomat features now. Yeah, let's see if that actually works. So, oh, it does seem to work. So let's pick that. Oh, hell yeah. Very nice. We finally have cryptomat. Matte, yes, very good. We finally have just cryptomat that just works, because we used to not really have that. It used to be pretty complicated to set up, but now we can just click on it and it works. That's sick. That's very sick. Finally, yeah. Right, Kim? Alright, so cool. Yeah, let's work with this version. So the ACES workflow is still a little bit new for me, and it still looks like it's a bit different than it should be. Like, at least it's different than how it looks inside of Blender. It still looks correct, like color-wise. It still looks correct, just a little bit darker than in Blender. But I think that's fine. I think the ACES workflow seems to be working pretty well. Yeah, so I think I'll just go ahead and use that. The cool thing is that we can use these output transforms to basically match our CG render to any camera look, right? So we can apply any of these looks and have it look like a real footage that was shot with a camera. Oh, this actually looks more like what we have in Blender. Oh, this looks exactly like in Blender. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I guess just putting the output transform to sRGB linear. Wait, are these different? Texture and linear? Oops. Oh yeah, texture is correct. So yeah, this seems to be looking exactly how it looks inside of Blender now, or at least very, very close. Yeah. And the cool thing about the ACES transform is also it's much more performant, like much faster playback than the OCIO way. Let me see if this also worked in this one here. If we select the sRGB here. Ah, okay, now we have a difference. Yeah, so it's definitely worth to select ACES CG in your color space in Blender if you want to use this workflow. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we got that working, which is very nice. So, yeah, different render paths. So the UV render path is actually a very cool render path. It's very useful for adding extra texture, which would help in this render honestly to like get some extra texture and everything. So let's look it up here. I think it was just a node called something like UV map. UV positioner, was it that? Yes, I think so. Okay, and I'm gonna just copy this one. Oh wait, no, I don't need to copy it. XR format. Just need to select the UV path here. So many. Okay, UV, X, Y, X and Y. And then we should be able to put this here. UV channel is U, V. Yeah, and now if we put something inside, like a noise, like just some kind of noise here, just put that inside, it should be mapped onto the surfaces. Does this work? I don't think it's working right now. Texture, view texture. Let's set up correctly with UV. Okay, let me just try to do it manually here. So layers, let's do UV. Actually, let's do a little boolean here. Channel booleans, yes. And I'm gonna copy the UV information onto the RGB channels. So to red, I want to use the what is it? U texture, and green V texture. Okay. Blue, nothing. Is it? Right, I guess. Okay, so now if we put this in here, we need to do it that way. Now red and green. Working? Not working. Okay, so what is happening? Okay, so this doesn't show anything now. Boom, boom, boom. What am I doing wrong? Be here, copy new to reds. Sorry guys, it's been a while and I'm also sick. So I'm struggling a little bit with getting this to work for some reason. Um, the that doesn't do anything. We should just work like that. I used it in my robot animation. Let me just open that animation real quick. Let me see. Stress comp layers. See if I still have it here. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, so this animation I use the UV information to like add some extra detail to all the surfaces. So it should be here. Light, volume mask, UV position. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did the same thing. Yeah, UV. That's all set up in here, right? Yeah. UV. Does this one affect anything? No, this doesn't change anything. Okay, so yeah, I just did this and it works. So why doesn't it work in the other shot now? Hmm. Hmm. Noise being put on the surfaces. Does these settings do anything? No. Oh, okay, let me open up our project file again. See if I just missed something. Oh wait, before we do that, let me actually see if we can... Oh, if it shows us any information if we want to display it here. UV. Okay, so if we select UV here, it actually shows us the UV and like information, but in the new one, it didn't actually show that. Check my compositing layer in Blender. I think that's making an issue. Oh, you think it's already in Blender? It's breaking in Blender already? UV? Oh, the UV isn't even the UV is not connected. That's why. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. This is this is obvious why it doesn't work then. V. Wait, why is it red? V. Okay, now it's not red. Okay. Yeah, that was the only one that wasn't connected. So, okay, I guess we do another frame render. Ba-ba-bum. Do we need anything else? No, I guess that's fine. Okay. Another render. Oh, also the mist pass, I was just remembering. Do you have it set up here? 0 to 1000. It's got saved. Why is it always switching back to geometry nodes? That's so strange. Yeah, mist is getting saved. Nice. Okay, now let's get it in here again. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Oh, actually, I think we can just like in the color grading, just like do a middle mouse tap on the previous shot and then it copies over the settings. All right. Yes, nice. Okay, now we should be able to see the UV pass, yeah. No, nothing. What the hell is happening? Oh wait, I probably still need to set up. No, I just set up. Okay. Just to make super sure, extra sure, I'm just gonna delete everything and just put the new one in, just to be sure. I don't want to make any silly mistakes. So frame 68. This is frame 68. Let's drop it in. Okay. Yes. V, U, V, Y. I wonder why there's a Z for UV, like there's a UV Z information. I don't know what that one is used for. UV. Ah, now we have some information. Okay. Nice. I think we're finally getting making progress. Aces transform G. GB texture. Nice. I should just save this as a macro, honestly. Let's do that. So I can next time just edit instantly, create macro. This Aces Blender V1. Always put version numbers on everything. And then I just want to make sure that I can also change these settings if I want to. This one and also this one. Yeah, basically everything. I just wanted to start with those values. Version. Okay. Save that. Blender. Okay, nice. So now we should be able to just add it in. Aces Blender V1. Yeah, and we immediately have the correct settings. Okay, cool. So that saves some time. Okay, so let's set up the render path now. I wish Resolve did this automatically too, like setting up all of these here. So I guess object ID. Oh, we don't need normal. Yes, normal is also very useful. Normal X, Y, Z. Position is also very useful. P world, is that position? Or is it called P world? What is that? Denoising normal. That's normal. Mistress, what? What is P world? I don't think I've seen that before. It's mixed with normal and position. Normal. Oh, is this to like switch the direction around? Because position. Okay, so it is the position. Yeah, because I think it's interesting that you did it here in the compositor, because it's true that Blender and Resolve have different gizmo directions. Yeah, what you wrote, the upside down. So what I did, I used RS. Do I have it here? RS camera. No. What's it called again? Switch. RS camera extractor. Damn, how was it called? Oh, vector flipper. Yes. RS vector flipper. Yes, exactly. You already know. So yeah, I usually just use this, but I guess you can also do it directly in the compositor, which is also smart. It's also nice. Okay. Position then G, B. Velocity. G. I guess we don't usually need velocity. I always render with motion blur in cycles, so I usually never use this. Do you have it enabled? I would like to try it out. Is the vector going? What is it? Oh, no, vector is not turned on. Also grayed out. Why is it grayed out? Huh. That's interesting. I have not seen it grayed out before. Okay, then let's not go with vector then. Okay, so let's try the UV mapping thing again. UV positioner. Let's put this in here. Put some noise again, fast noise. Put this in here. Now let's see if the U texture and V texture actually work. Wait, why is it gone again? What? The HDRI folder, the folder if you want to try it out. Okay, thanks, but I think it's fine for now. I'm just confused. Why is the UV information gone again now? Like we had it before, but now it's not visible anymore. What? Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so confused. I'm pretty sure we just looked at this like a few minutes ago, and it was showing up. Normals. Nothing is actually showing up. What is happening? Yo, guys, that was a what's up? Got the information here. Oh, now it removed everything again. Okay, that's annoying. Thanks. Yeah. Doesn't. Oh, what is happening? Why doesn't the UV map show up anymore? Ah, I don't know, man. Sorry, Beatrice. I don't know what's the problem here. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, so confused. Oh, it shows up now. Oh no, does the Aces workflow destroy the passes? Why would Aces do that? Okay, but I think there's a way around. We can just use a little workaround. We can just use the Aces transform here for everything visually. But I guess the data information needs to go through a separate channel. Oh, okay. We're getting somewhere slowly. We're starting to understand. Wait, why is it not showing up though? Ah, because I still have UV selected. Okay. So UV. Let's select all the passes again here. Let's see. Okay. Whew, okay, so now we should have something working, right? Yes, this seems to be working. Positional. Yes, this is working. Okay, finally. Finally. Okay, so we're basically putting this noise texture now onto all the surfaces. And I think we can also tiling. We can tile it so it's actually everywhere, because if it's untransparent, if the UV map I think is outside of the usual bounds, it will not show up anymore. So if we want that texture to be everywhere, we have to enable tile. And then we can, yeah, mix it back in and give it some more extra detail here. I'm gonna make it darker, so I'm gonna use, oops. I'm gonna use multiply and then dial it in. It doesn't multiply. Oh, because it's transparent. Okay, it's not actually black. So I need to change the color, I guess, to fully black. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then let's adjust it a little bit more detail. Let's contrast. This is a very, very easy way to get some more detail in your scene, to just do it with the V-map. But you got to be careful to not do it too extreme or it will be obvious. I guess also like having it pretty big also helps. Like if we have it very small, if we have this pretty obvious kind of like noise and everything, but if we just make it very big, we just kind of like get nice little shading on everything. So yeah, it just kind of like breaks up those like big planes of equal color in a nice way, I think. Yeah, yeah. And we can also, of course, dial it in as much as we want to. We can use the crypto matte to like make it appear on some objects and not on some others. But I think just having it a little bit helps. Yeah, definitely helps. If just ask, can we put like grunge or scratches texture map to instead of noise? Yeah, let's try that. Maybe I'll just give you like an example. For example, like if we want to have a graphic, let's do this. I didn't want to add that in here. Okay, so if we, for example, want to have like a decal on something, right? Like right now, I want to have this image as a decal on here. We can just use the UV positioner here again on this. Bam, bam. And then also merge that. I guess I'll merge that in front, so the noise is on top of that. Oh, it needs to be the other way around, like this. Okay. Right now we have the texture everywhere. But we can combine this actually with the crypto matte. So I'm gonna add a crypto matte here. Put this in here. And then I'm just gonna tap on this on this one object here. Nice. And then we can use this for the mask. Matte. Alpha. Does that work already? Yeah, that already works. Okay. We can still, like you can see, like this is all one object, so it still applies it to all of them. Now let's actually just make it look correct for now. Let's disable tiling. Let's have it transparent.
Architectural enjoyer just followed.
Texture architectural enjoy. Oh, that's the guy from Discord. Hey, thank you for following. Okay, so now we can dial it in here. Position. Change anything? Oh, that's the wrong UV positioner. Sorry. You can see I am a bit sick. I'm not the most concentrated. Right, transparent, and then we should be able to move this. Yes, exactly. Bum, 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 bum. Why is it everywhere right now? Oh, alpha needs to be activated. Yes, okay. So, there we go. We have that now. And then we should be able to, yeah, also scale it down with these values here. Very nice. So I have that here, and it should follow it pretty well. It is a bit noisy, I just noticed. Like the UV information seems to be a bit noisy here. Can you actually see that in the UV information? Oh yeah, because we're going through the thing transform, the ACES thing. It removes those extra passes, which is a pretty annoying limitation. Oh, it is noisy. Yeah, yeah. The UV pass is noisy for some reason. I don't think it should be that way. Maybe it's because there's a volume.
Ask_RL just followed.
Oh, thanks. Ask. Let me look at the messages real quick here. It's good to finally see live stream. I still want your opinion on whatever I should have clouds or not in the actual video. It's like from the start to finish. Thanks to many of the skyscrapers at the PV shot. I might send a pic. It would actually architectural enjoy. It would be most useful if you send in, like, if you would like me to watch something, look at something, give you feedback. Definitely use the form so I can have it all in one data. So it's easy for me to work through the submissions of people. So I can all like make sure I look at everything. You can find it in the welcome info on the Discord server. Here in welcome info, here down here, feedback sessions. Just submit it through that, please. Thank you very much. Okay, so for some reason the UV information is noisy, which like makes the image also look noisy. I'm not super sure why that is. I didn't have that problem before. I can imagine it's because of a volume maybe in this scene. So like Blender rendering a volume before it's rendering the UV information might make it noisy, but still strange. It's definitely strange. So yeah, that makes it more complicated. But let's use another tool here from the multi-layer EXR tools, which is position mask. So I'm gonna get a volume mask here. Volume mask. Put that in here. And then pick position, this here. Oh wait, it needs to be in the background information. Yes, like that. Okay. This. Ah, yeah, it's working. Okay. Kind of working. It's also pretty noisy. Okay, what's happening? Why are all these passes so noisy?
Good evening.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I just got back. Right.
I'm still looking at Vistra's submission here, figuring some stuff out, but we can look at yours right after. Yeah, Vistra's, for some reason, it seems like all the data passes are noisy. Also the normal pass. Yeah, there's like always some noise in here, which I'm really not sure where that comes from. It kind of like defeats the whole purpose of these passes, so it makes it difficult to work with them.
Isn't it that if you use the usual denoiser that the passes are still noisy, only beauty pass is denoised?
But the passes shouldn't really be noisy to begin with. Like, I don't think they need denoising ever. At least not the data passes. Like something like depth or normal passes. So I'm a bit confused about that. I think I need to look into that in the off time a little bit, because this is something I have not encountered before, this problem, and it makes it a bit difficult to like get real results, especially also here with the volume mask, which usually gives you like the possibility to mask things out in your scene, but as you can see, because the data is noisy, it's very inaccurate. It's like super splodgy. So yeah, that's not the case. Like I never had this before, so I'm not sure where that comes from. Yeah, Vstress, I think we need to figure this out before I can continue helping you with this shot and the render passes. Yeah, I think so. Depth of field. Actually, let's look at the depth information here. I usually wait, let's label it here. Z. add. The problem with the ACE transform that it removes all the extra layers is that it makes it more difficult to add just simple effects like depth blur. My depth blur, yeah, because it removes the Z channel basically, so I need to... Maybe I can feed this in here and it will pick the Z information from that. Let's see. Seems like it's doing something. Yeah, it's doing something, but yeah, you can see it's also noisy. Yeah, even the Z information is noisy. Yeah, something is very wrong. Something is very strange with the setup. Let me do one thing here, because I personally never use like a compositing setup to save a multi-layer EXR. I just do it through this here, EXR multi-layer EXR, which I guess doesn't give you the possibility to like switch these layers around and like denoise stuff, which you're doing here. It just saves automatically every pass that you have enabled by itself, which we should be able to just do this way. Test. Yes, save as image. Okay, I just want to see if that is the problem. If that's going through the compositor, if that's adding noise to it. So let's drop that thing in real quick. Just gonna do this thing here from the other shot. Right. What do we get? To select the GB layer here. Oh yeah, it's named completely different now too. Which is combined. Yes, so that's the final look. Okay, nice. So it seems to be working, but yeah, the extra layers are not working, so we need to set those up here again. Z combined. Oh, so many that I need to scroll through now. Depth the Z, then the UV information here. Okay, we can already see it's still noisy. Yeah, even this. So I guess there's something in the scene then that makes it noisy. Maybe it's the volume. I want to figure this out because it's pretty important, I think, to know the problem here. Okay, so I'm just disabling the volume. I'm gonna render it without the volume once. Oh shit, let me render a new frame though, so it doesn't overwrite my other one that I already have. Yo, Adroid, you're also here. Nice. Thanks for joining. Oh, actually, I can still get the text-to-speech bot in here. I wish it joined automatically.
Kyber, the principal said, hello.
Hello. Okay, so we have this saved now, and saving it through the compositor or the output doesn't change anything. You start making anything for the challenge yet? Not yet, no, I'm going through the student submissions right now, and then I'm gonna do the challenge stuff afterwards. Okay, so let's try that now. Let's drop in the volume EXR. What? Where is it? Didn't save it? Why didn't it save it? Okay. Oh no, that's in here. Okay, I looked in the wrong folder. Frame 67. Okay. Okay. Same thing here now. Let's copy paste and see if the data is still noisy without the volume. Okay, the data is not noisy anymore. Yeah, Vstress, it seems like the volume is corrupting, or like, yeah, making the data passes noisy, which is super annoying. That is very annoying. So let's disable this. See if the mapping is correct now. Yeah, so this is correct now. Yeah, we have, so it is the volume. It is rendering with volume corrupts the data passes. It seems like volume rendering just makes everything more complicated, so I think we need to look for ways to handle volumes in a better way. Maybe always rendering them in Eevee? Like rendering them as a separate render inside of Eevee. I think figuring out a setup for that automates that would be very useful. Okay, but yeah, that means I can show you the volume mask here now. Okay, so yeah, we have this image on here, right? But we want it to only be here, so I'm going to use the volume mask. Just going to pick that spot here, and I'm going to make sure the color we see mask only, and then we put. I think we don't even need the crypto mat if we use the volume mat here. We can just like put that here. Yeah, then we basically have it already. So I guess we don't even need crypto mat for cutting that stuff out. Let's make it a little bit softer here. Soft edge. Well, I guess it also adds it to this, so maybe it makes sense to combine it with the crypto mat. Okay, so let's combine those. I think we can just merge them. Actually, volume mask needs to. Hey, we need a different blend mode. We need not over, but mask. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and now we've got a nice 3D mask here for where we can put our decals or whatever we like. And the cool thing about this workflow is that if it's an animation, it will also move together with the animation. So it's not only for one still frame, it will actually stay in place. So yeah, that is cool. So those are some useful tips for those render layers. The depth blur, he looks pretty shitty. It looks very shitty. If we disconnect this, does it still work? No. Okay. Is there a better depth blur? Because this one looks bad. This one looks really, really bad. defocus. Android says, can we do by tracking some parts of the scene and later use some fog assets? As I've seen some new composers doing this, which gives cool volumetric vibe. Yeah, you can totally do that. Yeah. Just like adding volume in post-production is also totally doable. Like it's a bit hard to get light interaction that way, right? But it definitely gives you also a lot of possibilities. Okay, yeah, this depth blur seems to be working much better. Focus strength, let's pull that down. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is much better. This looks much nicer. Okay, but yeah, something I wanted to say, something I noticed earlier, which doesn't seem to be a problem anymore, but I saw that like through the the rotor here, you had no depth of field, but it seems to be working pretty well now. So point. Can we just sample it? Not? Okay, but it does work, yeah. Just the focal point drop thing doesn't properly work. Yeah, this depth of field isn't too bad. It works pretty well, I think. Okay, nice. With the fog, wait, what extra passes do we have that we could talk about? Position we talked about. Oh, normal. Yeah, we can do some relighting too. Let's see. So I'm gonna add some relighting here right after this. Relight. Two different ways. Use internal. Use normal input. Yes. Use this here. Okay. This something is also breaking here apparently. Okay. Use internal. I think this is like the AI generated normal map that it is using for use internal. Yeah. It's also kind of working, but since we already have normals, it would be good if we could use them. Select them correctly in here. Normal Z, yes. Something's looking strange about this right now. I don't think this is how it's supposed to be. Directional. Okay, the relight behaves a bit strange, but there's also a different shader that, or like a different node that kind of like does something similar, which is called shader actually. Let's just put that in here, put this in here. Should be able to relight in some sense. Where is the light? Huh. What is happening? Some stuff just doesn't work as usual. Later. Where are my notes now? Okay, we got something working here now. Oh, I think this is, yeah, again, because the Aces node is removing, it's removing the extra information. Maybe we can put them back in with a channel boolean here afterwards. So let's do that. Put this in here, and then arcs. Yeah, it's keeping those, and then we basically do the same thing again. C buffer, UV. Think this should work. That should make it work better. Not buffer, the normal. Position. One. Position. Position. Okay, and now we should have all of those things in our main thread again, in our main machine. Make some space here. I want to try to plug all of this data with this now, just to see if it actually works. So why is it so dark right now? Oh, because I need the background. That's background. Yeah, keep the background color. Background. Blue. Alpha should also be from the background. I should probably just save this as a whole setup, because I guess this little setup here is what you need every time you want to work with a Blender render in Fusion to make everything make sense. Yeah, maybe I'll save this as a little macro later too. Okay, but now it works. Now we have our Aces transform, and we still pass on all the data. Okay. And we have this stuff. Wait, is this actually working? Doesn't seem to be. Oh my god, is this broken again? Did I not view texture from the foreground? Yes. B. Yes. Is it broken again? Oh man, what is? It is broken. Why? Yeah, it is actually breaking it. View texture from the foreground, but it is correct. Oh, I need to enable them? Ah, okay. There we go. Little things that just seem unnecessary to think about. Okay, cool. So now it works. Now we got all that set up. What did I originally wanted to show you next? What was it? Let me look at the submission again. Oh yeah, you didn't write it here. Ah. Okay. Other passes. Are there any other passes that are interesting? Normal, we talked about that. We talked about the Z. Talked about cryptomats. Talked about. Oh yeah, was it not? I was at relighting. That was what we were doing. Okay, so let's try that again. Shader. Let's get in the shader here. And then, yeah, now it's working more like I'm used to. Okay, we can turn that off. And then we can basically, yeah, add some extra light to objects. And the cool thing here is that, yeah, for example, I want to add like a nice kind of like edge light to this drone here. So I can just use the cryptomat now. Put this in here, cryptomat. And then just select the drone. Nice. Put alpha. And then we just use that as a mask. Now our lighting is only affected on that drone, which is pretty nice. Yeah, we can dial in the lighting on that drone. That would be a little bit of a nice, cool edge light. Like this. It's a little bit trial and error to like find the correct direction from the lighting this way. Ah, maybe this is kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay, then we can dial in the look of it a little bit more. Okay. Okay, I think I actually want to put this on top though. Yeah, I think the more ambient light you get, the more it looks like the original, right? So it just adds those diffuse and specular lights on top. You can just go dial this in however you like. I think I like how this is looking kind of. Yeah, just as a little example what you can do. I mean, I could invest a lot of time like in polishing this up, but I think you already have a really good version here. Like this already looks really cool. I just wanted to show you some other tools, like things you can do with those extra layers. But you already have something really cool looking here. Do you have any other questions, Vistris? Or did that kind of answer what you were looking for with those extra render passes. Thanks for the passes info. For sure. I hope it showed you some new things, some new possibilities. Okay, so I think then I'll move on to Strax submission. Let's see. Download. Feedback. Okay, so here was transfer. Downloaded that. What was the name of it?
Something Draulia with some number. So it's a D.
Okay, let me see. I
The
should
R
have it
E.
here then. Here it is. Okay. I'm opening it up right now. How are you doing today, Strax?
It's been a very hot day. So finally
Very hot?
chilling down a bit. Yeah, it's been literally 29 degrees at like 8. It's
Oh, damn! Yeah, the summer's really. It's probably gonna hit real hard this year, I think.
Right. Anywho, so my question is, number 1, lighting. How to get a natural lighting for the whole space? Because it's a 360 project. Therefore, I cannot like hide things out of camera view to get the nice lighting. Secondly, regarding the lights, how they work. Like I used black body, but I was thinking if maybe the values are wrong. And then lastly, the materials of my models according to the reference. I have a hard time getting something that would work together well despite having a reference. Like I did find some materials that would work better, but it just didn't look nice to me. So this is like a rough version 1. I'm still gonna remix the materials entirely. But yeah, I think the number 1 problem with my scene right now is that the lighting doesn't look good at all. Like I used atmosphere add-on, but it just I don't think. I think it also makes the whole thing much slower compared to Nishita without actually getting that much of a improvement in regards to how natural the light looks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let me go into render view to look at it. I'm gonna first because I'm used to your renders crashing my PC. I'm just gonna make sure that I have some simplify things turned on here.
But this one is like really not heavy.
Okay.
It should not be heavy. Like
So yeah, let's see. Render mode. Oh, did my webcam just stop?
yeah.
Damn it! Today's not my day, man. Okay, but I got your scene working here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess my webcam is just stuck for now. I'll just leave it like that. Okay. So we got this. Okay, it's not looking terrible in my opinion, but a little bit. It's
Flat,
like
I
not
guess.
a bit flat, like not so interesting lighting wise. I think like a big part of that is that a lot of the lighting is very soft except for the outside shot. Oh, that's interesting. It's just a
That's an
picture.
actual. This is an HDR. I mean, it's a
Okay.
panorama of the actual build site.
Nice. Yeah,
Like,
the outside looks really good.
so there's another thing. I did some testing, like with my phone camera, and absolutely what I need to change is blow out the outdoor. Right now, it's way too sharp. Like it would be like blown out. That's the one thing. But yeah.
I mean, if I look in this direction, this looks pretty nice, like with the sunlight, so that's good. But yeah, you're right, it's running pretty slow. I just wanna
because of atmosphere plugin, that's for sure.
yeah,
I did some testing afterwards after submitting the thing. So I guess you can just delete the thing and use sky texture instead.
Okay. Okay, yeah, let me try. I'll just save this for first, and then I'm gonna add. So that is faster. Oh, you're using a sunlight anyways, right?
Yeah, the plugin also adds in a sun. I forgot. I think it's in the last collection. Lights should be here. Not, or if you just search for sun, I guess that's gonna be the fastest one. Yeah.
Starlight. Okay. Yeah. What person do the make the sunlight much brighter? Probably. Maybe
Oh,
even.
another thing. Would you use sunlight, or would you use sky texture for?
You mean like a HDRI for the sun?
Yeah, like sky texture in Nishita, right? Whatever it's called. Compared to scan, like what's the advantage of using one versus another?
In my experience, using a sun light like this one you have here is a bit easier to control, to like get looking exactly how you want it to look like. And doing the same thing with HDRI or with Nishita is a bit more convoluted, I would say, but let's just give it a shot.
Yeah, like whatever you think would work. I'm just thinking out loud.
That means we need to find the position first. Okay, it's already shining in here. Let's see, rotation. Oh, I think it's actually coming from the other side. Ah, here we go. Okay, so it's coming in from here now. Honestly, that doesn't look bad. That looks kind of nice. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. I mean, usually, I think if you already have an HDRI of the environment, yeah, let's just go that with the ideal situation, because I think I would still use the environment that you had, but just disabling all the
Just one thing.
atmosphere stuff.
The environment is not like an actual high dynamic range, it's a panorama. So using the light from that might not be the best idea because usually you need a bigger light range.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
exposure brackets.
Yeah, I see what you mean. This is purely the 360 image. Yeah, so yeah, you can see how everything is starting to blow out. But it's not too terrible. Let's try this. I'm just gonna try to like combine both things and maybe also give this image here a little bit less contrast.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'd never thought of using curves. I just bumped up the strength of the background, right? And that like, okay.
I usually do something like this for, like I've done like 360 video, and I used that still to light the scene by doing something similar what you did here with the camera ray and not camera ray. So wait, yeah, let's actually give that a shot. It probably will not work, but it might be interesting. So I'm just gonna do a copy of this and remove everything but the HDRI, or like the 360 image here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do two versions of this. One that's basically visible by the camera and one that's used for lighting. Background. Okay, so I want to copy these two nodes and then mix these two. Oh, I recently found. Oh yeah. When you hold down Control Shift and left click with Node Wrangler, it mixes two nodes together. That's
Interestingly, I already knew about that.
Ah, nice. I just learned that the other day. Okay, so now I'm basically making. Oh, I need to combine this. And now I'm gonna try to basically crunch out everything that's dark to only leave in the bright parts, which are usually the sky and the sun. Let's see if that works. Okay, the cars are also extremely bright, so they might still be in there. Okay, we can't fully get the cars out. I mean, I guess we could add like a gradient to get them out a little bit more. Yeah, let's try that. Finding these nice. I want it to be multiply the gradient. Around this. Okay, nice.
I'm just gonna mask it, right?
Yes, exactly. Just using this to
Okay.
make the floor, like the ground, darker and
Mhm.
keeping the sky brighter. So go this down a little bit. This value.
I think it's Z. No, wait, what?
Which one actually moves it down?
Oh, you need to change from generated to something else, I think. Never
Oh
mind.
wait, this might be it. Oh yeah, this is it. Okay. Oh yeah, this might work.
The thing is, the sun was in a fixed position, and I'm always gonna make the shot. Some apartments might be rotated a bit, so actually, never mind.
Where's this? Oh wait, no, I need to do the multiply after I changed the look of this thing. Why is it looking so crunched now? No. So I just want the sky. Gradient. hacking our way through this somehow. Okay. Let's make it much less brighter. Yeah, okay. And then I'm just using that for the indirect passes. So camera ray. Camera ray should show the real image. of the situation a little bit. Okay, so to mix these, how did it work again? No. Ah, dude, I forgot. I forgot how this worked. I'm so not on top of my game today. I want to use this lower shader here just for the lighting, not for the camera view. Is it? Is that how it works? It's not working. Damn it, how did this? Again. Maybe I have to mix it in afterwards again. Is that how it worked? So that means mixing this with transparency. Where's the transparent? Wait, wasn't there like a transparent shader? Okay, there's not a transparent shader anymore, so I guess maybe just a black background. And this. Shadow ray. So that maybe it was shadow ray. No. I can't figure it out right now. I don't fully remember how that worked. Yeah, but I guess let's continue with the rest then. Okay, let's just continue with the rest then. Let's add our own sunlight again. Oh, I guess we can just use the sun that's already here. What I often found was that people do like put the strength of their sun too low, because usually when the sun shines through a window, it is very bright in comparison to all the other light sources. But we should also not overdo it. Like 15. Yeah, I think 15 should be kind of realistic. Okay. And we can also play around with the angle a little bit. Oops. Wait, why can't I? I'm trying to rotate the here.
It might not be selectable. Yeah, you
Ah,
need to.
okay, here we go. So this is kind of nice. Okay. All right, for the interior lighting here, yeah, like if you look in this other direction, yeah, like you said, like it's very flat. So I think what we would need to do is making these light sources a bit more directional. So let's figure out how you did it currently. So right now the main light sources of the interior are these like ceiling lights, right? We also have a light source on them. Oh, it's area lights, okay. Just try to disable those. So this is the scene completely without interior lighting. Which has a little bit more depth, but yeah, we definitely need a little bit of nice lighting. I think what kind of like it's kind of disconnect. There's a little bit of a disconnect between the brightness of the room and the brightness of the light sources, right? Because the ceiling lights you have here, they appear pretty dim in the viewport, but then they still fill up the whole space with light. So I think it should match that a little bit more. Let's see. First of all, I'm gonna try to just select all of these area lights and just see what happens if we disable those and just do it purely through the shader. Ah, I can just select all these with OG and type. And we have all of our area light types here. I'm going to just put those in their own collection for now. Look at the scene without them. Maybe also these. I'm gonna put all of these into just one collection for now. Okay. Off for now. Go to the shader here and see how it looks if we. I'm also keep getting errors from BlenderKit for some reason. Whatever. Okay, so this seems to be the shader for those lamps. Wait, do they actually emit any light? Oh yeah, the emission is here, yeah. Okay, so this is the strength of that using some noise texture. Okay, let's see how it looks if we style that up. Yeah, I think it's just way too soft. I think there is a good mix between those two things, like using the area lights and these ceiling lights. But I'm gonna just like mix the light rays so they look bright in the viewport, but we get the actual lighting from the area lights. Path, light path. So I'm going to mix two values. This is the mix. Okay, and then this should basically give us the option to like have this value being the influence on the world, which should be 0, and this how bright it appears in the viewport. Yes, okay. Nice. And then I'm going to, yeah, it's just viewport visibility. I'm going to get back those area lights and change the setting a little bit. Let's try to like decrease the spread a little bit to make it more focused down. Maybe that's gonna help. I think actually I like that we have these kind of like spots on the floor. It's kind of cool, but it also doesn't really fit the lighting or like the light source. So I think I'm gonna actually try to mix those two types. I'm gonna this, but make it much less powerful. And then I'm going to duplicate those ceiling lights. Ceiling lights, oops. Those and turn them into one category. Check data, so now it's 10 of those. Yes, I'm gonna call these white spread. The other ones are tight spread. White spread. Area default? Why are they? Wait, didn't I just rename them? Wait, what? Didn't I just rename them? The hell, what happened? Feeling like I'm missing something. Name data book. Yeah, I renamed them. So where are the? Yeah, widespread. Okay. What?
Well, the way it usually works, I think you need to select all of them and then F2, and it gives you batch rename.
But I think this is like the data block I'm
Oh,
renaming here. So it should. Yeah, look, like when
so
I
if you,
switch back to it,
I guess
it's
if
the
you
name is
select
removed.
link data, and then just F2 in outliner.
But it still doesn't keep the name. Like it has the name white spread here. But if I select a different one and then that one again, it doesn't have that name anymore. So that's definitely not normal, right? It should still have the name that I gave it. Oh wait, these have the same name, but now they don't anymore. Dude, what is happening? Like sometimes it shows the name that I renamed it to, and then suddenly it's this area default name again. The hell? Um, but I guess they're still separated. Like they still have like this is 004, these are 005, so 005 is the tight ones, and 004 are gonna be the white ones. 70 degrees. Okay, I think it should still work. I'm just really confused why the name doesn't stay. These ones should be the white ones. These. Yeah, okay, these. Okay, so it works. Degrees. Let's not make them too white though. 60, and then brightness maybe like 10. Okay. So I think at least right now we have a little bit more like structure interest in the lighting, like it's not super flat anymore. We have these kind of like hotspots in the scene here where the lights shine down and then it's a bit more spread, but it's still very soft all over here. So let's see how we can change that. What it's coming from in general.
Ion_Starx just followed.
Oh, thanks
Cool.
for the follow, Ion. What's up, Strax?
I think the problem with using the HDR, right?
Mhm.
I mean, not the HDR, the image is that it doesn't have enough ambient light as you would expect, like in real life. That's
Mhm.
why I usually prefer sky texture, some kind of HDR that actually emits enough light from all over the place, not just the sun itself, right?
Yeah.
That's my main thing. I genuinely think that, the white, I mean, the light having a more of a burst and then the soft, but it feels like, I don't know, this is definitely one of those things that I never quite figure out in Blender, how to get it right.
Hmm. But right now I'm trying to like figure out why all the walls are so soft in general, right? Like where that comes
All
from.
right, there's another thing, they still don't have material, so that probably doesn't help.
Okay. Hmm. So right
So you
now,
definitely add some of that sharpness or like texture on them once you add a plaster material. But yeah,
it's a little bit more natural. Sunlight and the sunlight makes everything kinda soft. Yeah. I realized too. I'm wondering if we should just add a little bit of stuff to fake it, or if we should try to like simulate it correctly. Like I'm thinking right now, maybe it's worth to add of gradient on the shader on this wall here. Just like give it like a general gradient to the top, so the top is a little bit darker. So, I'll just try it. Could be interesting. I think I'm also gonna increase the viewport focal length here, because otherwise it's kind of hard to navigate. 4 mm, yeah, so we can see a bit more stuff at once. Yeah, good, okay. The walls, select them. I guess they're not selectable right now. These collections here. Strax, can you tell me in what collection the walls are?
Stena. It's the one you're in. Yeah. Right now, you just shift click onto the collection and everything is going to be selectable. I
That's
usually
this
turn
one?
it off so I don't accidentally click on stuff.
Ah, I got it. Okay. Nice, nice. Let's try. Checked. So it doesn't have any shader yet, right? Or that's the shader.
So this is the furniture, not just for the ceramic in the bathroom, right?
Ah, yeah. Okay, got the
The
walls.
empty one is this, the wall.
So the ceiling is which one?
Top. I do a bit of a weird like naming convention.
So I'm gonna try to just add a gradient here that goes from the bottom to the top. An empty to control that. Oops. So T or gradient. Hit this. And we can use the ramp to control the actual colors of that. So I guess we got kind of like faking ambient occlusion with this right now, but I think it's working. It does help to give everything a little bit more.
That's an
depth.
interesting way of thinking about it. Yeah, like faking the ambient occlusion to get that natural look of how the ceiling should look like.
Yeah,
Like the
because
idea. Like once you add in the material, then you just add this mask. It might actually greatly enhance the whole thing.
yeah. I mean, this is kind of like hard to like tell depth, but with this, it's getting definitely a bit easier. It might be a bit too dark now, but I think it's definitely starting to work. I think. Yeah, and you can really dial it in however strong it should be. Yeah, honestly, I think we are getting to a good place with that. Let's see, does it also make a change here? Yeah, dude, I think this is totally helping.
Okay, that is definitely a huge thing. Yeah. So I can just. All right. I like the way it's starting to look.
Yeah, it's getting some more realism feeling, even if we are totally cheating and not making it realistic at all, in a realistic way. Maybe we can even increase the width of these soft ceiling lights again now. Yeah, maybe this also doesn't need to be that extreme anymore. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I think this is an improvement to what we had before.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Do you have any other specific like question about the scene? I think in general, if you're gonna add just like objects like plants that also break up the lighting a little bit and the shadows, I think it's also gonna make it feel more realistic because the couch right here also feels very soft, right? Maybe we can even do it. Maybe we can even fake it even better with like negative lights, to like remove light where there's too much. Remove light. Oops, button. Point light with negative power. Oh, yeah, but negative lights can also start to look very bad quickly. But if you keep it low, it helps sometimes. Yeah, like here. I think in this case it also actually helps, like make the couch not look too flat. Yeah, this helps. But honestly, I would like the negative lights are kind of dangerous too. It should be like the last step, like right before you want to render it out, but you see like a few little parts are too bright, then you can start using them. But until then, I would definitely go with working with your additive light and scene props. So like maybe adding a plant or something here to like make it feel less flat. Yeah, okay. Do you have any other questions, ideas? Drax? Oh yeah, I think you're muted. Yeah, I don't hear you right now.
Oh, my bad, my bad. So this is more of a general question, but if you check Discord where I had reference, I was going for a specific look, but because of I couldn't find like materials that would. So the third one, top
Yeah.
from left, this kind of I basically made a model that imitates that. However, when I try to add in materials, they just didn't look right in my scene. So the question is, how do you get closer to your reference. Like I have what I did was there like more of a freestyle, just finding materials that somewhat blend together. But if you have a specific look you're going for, how do you like execute it? That's my. If was I clear what I was trying to say?
I mean, yeah, you're asking how to get closer to the reference, right? Like kind of like figuring out
Yeah.
what is missing in your scene that doesn't feel like the reference you're working towards. And I guess that's a very broad question, right? Like it could be a lot of different things. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be anything, like the style of lighting, or like the lights you use, or the shader setup you have for your models. Even the bounce settings, like the settings in your render engine, how many bounces it calculates, right? Usually, you probably know this, right? But usually, if you want to have super realistic renders, you can increase these bounces a lot, and then it will also start looking more and more realistic when it comes to light
So
calculation.
given I'm going for like a as high as I can get, and render time is not really a problem, what settings would you think are working?
So I would say like 16. I think anything above 16 is not really noticeable anymore. But yeah, I think with 16 you get a really realistic light calculation. The lower you go with these numbers, the simpler it will look, right? Like you can see this here. It's starting to look very much computer generated. So yeah, the higher you go, the brighter your image will also get. It's usually also more realistic. But honestly, when we had this at a low number, it also kind of looked nice because we don't get so much light through the window. But it usually looks less realistic. Let's see. Let's do a little comparison here. Okay, so this is with one bounce. Let's do 16
Yeah, given
bounces. It definitely
the
feels
fact
more realistic.
just replying to chat, given the fact it's just, I don't know, 10 renders at 8,000 times 4,000 pixels, its render time is actually not that bad. It's on my 5090, it's, I don't know, 25 minutes with a lot of samples. So I'm just getting skill issued, honestly.
Yeah, so I would recommend you to use 16 bounces then, because it tends to look more realistic that way. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I will use the tip you did with the fake ambient occlusion, and I'll play around with it more. So I'll try to get it look better, closer to the reference, and then I'll probably send it in again for like some reference, or then how you would approach it. Because I'm basically gonna do this apartment first, and then I need to do another 9, and it feels like I need to get it right just now, because changing everything afterwards is gonna be a headache and unnecessarily a lot of work.
Yeah. Okay, man. Yeah. Just try these techniques out, and then let's look at it again.
All right. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Thanks for sending in.
And also, I'm gonna probably send in some files for the challenge sometime soon. I just need to
Nice.
get things as close as I want them, and then like see what your approach would be to improving it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm excited to see that too.
All right. Cheers, mate.
Cool.
Thanks.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. I think we have one. We actually have two community submissions today from Wrench and Dark Photon. So let me open up Wrench's. Oh, Wrench was the car edit. Yes, we wanted to get feedback on his car edit. Let me see if I can open it up and just give him some tips on editing flow and stuff like that. Here we go. I open the project file. I need to relink with Resolve. It's luckily very easy. Download car, select folder, and then it should find everything. There we go. Okay, 13 clips not found, but that's probably only the sound. Oh wait, there's something else on here. Okay, let's try that again. Go all the way into the folder. It stays the same. Okay, whatever. We've got most of it, I think. Okay, so Wrench, you're here, right? It's fine. I mean, I mainly want to give you feedback on edit flow anyway, so I'm just gonna, yeah, work with the images mostly. So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna make this small so I can see everything at once. Okay, wait, let's watch it in the let's watch it like the final edit that you made first before watching it in the edit in Resolve. I think you put it in the gallery, right? Yeah, here it is. Okay, let's check that. Oh, that's it. Okay. I think something that's like less about the visual, but also like the audio, how you have it set up right now, is that you hear exactly what you see, right? Like there's no transition or overlap between what you hear and what you see, and usually that helps a lot. Like if you have some kind of audio cue to cue you in on what's gonna happen next. So for example, let's see. Not sure. Okay, I guess I'm missing a bunch of files here, so I'm not sure if I'm getting the full experience watching it in the editor. Yeah, for example, like here, when the car starts to drive here, I think it would make sense for you to have some sort of engine turning on or something, like a sound effect before that, to kind of like tease the next image. I think that makes edit feel smooth if, like, auditorily you already kind of like know what to expect with the next visual, so it's kind of like a smoother transition. They have sound effects here, right? So can just look for car engine. It doesn't show the waveforms. Oh, because my HDD is not connected. Okay. By the way, to enter it, it was hard to find the music to match it. She was going to clean the car by the way to enter it. Oh, I see. It's a garage, like a car cleaning workshop. Yeah. Oh man, like when I watched it the first time, I had a bunch of ideas to improve here. Oh yeah, this was something. Yeah. I think it makes usually it makes sense to start with the widest shot of an environment. So for example here, it feels a little strange to go from like this top view into this closer city view and then back into a city overview. So either you cut out this city overview or you put it in the very beginning. So we start with the city, go into this like overview of an intersection, and go closer again. So yeah, to me that feels much more natural, but I think it's also a bit over sharing, like a little bit too much information. I think honestly we need to think about the story here mainly, right? Like, what is this about? Is it about this woman driving fast through the night? So we kind of like want to tell that story, even if it's in an abstract way, maybe by telling her the path she takes to get to her car, which I think this makes a lot of sense. Like, this feels like it's from a eye level perspective, so kind of like from her view, right? Like maybe walking through the streets to her car. So maybe let's just try that. So I like this. Oh yeah, something that I usually also like to do in editing is to change the direction of a shot, which helps to like make a edit flow much nicer. So for example, I'm kind of just like thinking about where I'm looking at and then making sure that with the next shot I am looking still at the same spot and there's something interesting. So for example here, I'm looking at the movement of these cars, and then my eye is kind of like ending up in the next shot right here, which is fine, but also a bit disorientating because there's not much happening here. So is there a way to focus maybe the view on the fire truck here or something, because that's also a nice movement. So maybe if we just like flip this around and we have the movement happening here now, maybe even like reframing this a little bit so it's on the bottom left like that. Let's see if that works. A little bit. So it's still not ideal. I also feel like this little pause here is a little strange. I think it like kills the energy a little bit. So maybe it makes sense to, because it, or maybe it is also that revealing the moon here doesn't feel like any new information we're getting because it's already night, right? So maybe it actually makes sense to reveal the moon in the very beginning to tell that it is night, even though we don't really need to tell that. It's pretty obvious that it's night in the city. I think this this highway establisher doesn't need to be there because it feels like we're already like getting out of the city, and then we're out of the city here. So I think this highway, it doesn't feel like it feels like it's taking us back into the city, even though we are on our way out of the city and then already like fully out of here. So let's maybe just remove that. Back here. The moon. I mean, I guess the moon kind of like fits with the topic of being outside of the city. So this feels a bit more connecting. This is nice. We look in the center, and then the center of the moon is also the moon. But then the next shot is a bit strange, because then suddenly we are on the right here. So is there a way to have the view, like have this in the middle? I don't think so. Maybe, yeah, maybe we can actually fake it like this. Then just drop. Wait on the right side a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna do it roughly so to like show how the edit flow could feel better. So like having this car kind of like in the middle of the frame only feels nicer to connect those two shots. And you could easily extend it, I think, also outwards. This shot also feels a bit too long. Oh, there's multiple sounds happening now at once. Not sure what that is. Wait, there's two songs at the same time. I think it's this here. Yeah, I think wrench in general. I think I'm not super sure what your goal with this edit is. I think it's just like a little experiment to try out editing, but I think in general it's important to get a bit more of a story going, right? Because right now it is very abstract. Like I kind of like get the story that this woman is driving her car to outside of the city. But I think we need a little bit more of a story to like build something around it edit-wise, because always, I like with everything in film, the visual serves the story, right? So we need to know what the story is to be able to build a visual and to edit around that. So I think if you want to continue on this project, I would suggest you tighten the story a little bit better, or like more like develop the story a little bit more, and then it's also easier to figure out what are the right decisions for the edit, what is being shown in what pace and in what combination. So yeah, because I'm feeling a little bit out of ideas right now, because I'm looking for, okay, where should this go? In what direction should this edit go? But I'm also not super sure in what direction it should go because of not really seeing the story that it should tell, right? So yeah, please get back to me with a submission if you have something going with the story, and then we can look at it again. Yes. All right. Yeah. Let's look at the next thing here from Dark Photon. He sent me a download here. Let's see. Animation feedback. Yeah, there we go. Let's open that up. Hey, nice. Okay. Oh, it's this factory. I've seen this on the chat on the server already. What's happening with my Blender kit? Why does it keep sending me error messages? Okay, let's just disable it for now. Okay, so he wrote, the end of the animation looks weird. I might also want to add the left hand so the valve turning looks better, but I don't understand how the character works, especially how the hand snapping works. So the animation playback is very laggy. Okay, the end animation looks weird. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about the hands first, I guess. Or let's figure out why the playback is slow first. Just turn some collections off and see how it changes. This stuff is just seen. Oh, you should organize this a bit more. Okay, let's just try the simplify feature inside here. Let's see if that helps with anything. This doesn't change anything. Okay, what makes the playback so slow? Probably like one object or so, or something that is like overly detailed. Oh, okay, we're getting faster now. Something in here was slowing it down. Windows. All of these cylinders I think are doing like a little slowdown, but they're just cylinders. It shouldn't be that difficult. Oh, there's stuff inside. Okay. maybe this the modifiers. If I just select everything and disable all the bevel. Yeah, it doesn't make such a big difference. It's also only slow in playback, so maybe some sort of something. Skin modifier. See? Ah, the skin modifier is doing a little bit. I guess it's just a lot of little things that slow it down. Oh. Play every frame. That's fine. Play every frame works also fine. I usually, I mean, you need play every frame if you work with simulations and stuff, but I usually have sync to audio because then you actually see the real speed of your animation. It's easier to judge animation that way. Okay, what is slowing it down so much? Okay, let's do a little bit more digging because I don't like working on a project when it's not playing back. So just this one cube is already slowing down the playback, which is that's crazy. Why is this already slowing it down by 5 frames? What is happening here? Fluid. That didn't change much. Strange, just having one little sphere here shouldn't drop the frames per second down by 5. Yeah, this one doesn't, for example, like this one, yeah, slows it down so much. Does hiding it help anyways? I've definitely had things where unless I delete them or disable them, completely the collection is still active viewport. Yeah, if it's disabled, it's fine. I guess if it's deleted, it's also fine, yeah. But what does this have that makes the viewport slow down so much just from a simple sphere, like simple plate here? Fluid doesn't do anything. Hmm. This is strange, man. This one object shouldn't slow down the viewport that much. Yeah, look, like if I just enable all of these other ones, the playback is still fine. Yeah, playback is still fine. Playback is still fine. Still real time. Oh, now it starts to lag again. Okay, what is it? This is fine. It's fine. This lags again. Okay, what is it? Cables. Okay, I think. Let's see if we can change that. Because well, that's a huge setup. I think we can just bake the geometry in GeoNodes, so it doesn't need to recalculate it for every time, for every frame. Bake. Still bake. There we go. Yeah, and now we baked the geometry. And now it's not, because it can happen that GeoNodes wants to like recalculates every frame, which is not necessary with a still object anyway. So yes, you see, we baked this now. Wait, is it baked? Yeah, we baked this, and now it's real time again. Okay, cool. So we got that figured out. Okay, what else is slowing down the viewport? Oh, something here is slowing down again. This thing. Template mover. Ah, because there's a bunch of stuff. Wait, what? Still slow. We have cables again, but didn't I already bake them? Maybe it's also just my PC. Like sometimes it runs quicker, sometimes it's slower. Now it's pretty slow. Okay, let's try to bake this one too. Bake. It's not terrible. Ooh, something slowed it down a lot here. Oh, this one? Yeah, warm gear. Okay, the warm gear is slowing it down a lot. Um, Probably because of the curve deformation with so much detail, right? Yeah, it's the deformation. No, it's actually the weighted normals. Yeah. So I guess the weighted normals you can also just keep deactivated for the viewport, since it's not really that important to view in real time. Okay. Dude, this one for some reason. Oh shit! It even crashed Blender. This one little object with the fluid system slows the viewport down so much for some reason. Fluid physics, but it doesn't even calculate the fluid physics, right? Like, why is it still slowing it down even though it's not really doing anything? Let's see if I can recover the last session here. It's okay, Blender Kit. You need to be upset. My PC is also just kind of strange today. It just lags. Just does little lags very regularly. Quite regularly. Oops. Calva v2. Okay. So this one, the fluid. Oh my god, it just crashes it. What the hell? So I would say let's just have it deactivated for the viewport. Because it's just this one weird object that slows everything down for no reason. So yeah, let's just disable it. Why is it lagging? Oh man. Why is everything so weird today? Okay, so at least we have pretty good playback now, so I can show you how to do the hands. Okay, POV arm. Let's go. Enable all things here, the rig. Okay, so if you want the other hand, you gotta select the hand and then I think it is the mask. No. Off. On. Here's the other arm. Okay, so the other arm is here in disable. So I'm gonna put it out of disable, and then you have access to it. And then you should also be able to animate it with the rig. Yeah. So here you go. Now you have the other arm in view, and you can animate it however you want to. But I don't think the rig is. Ah, yeah, no, this is still the IK, oh no, the FK rig. So we want to make this IK, right? So right hand. There we go. Okay, so this is the switch to make it IK. Okay, so now we have the IK controller, and we can control the arm pretty well. Oops. Yeah, there we go. So now you have the other arm too. You can animate it however you like. Yeah, and let's see. Yeah, you used my little empty here also for the animation. That's good. I did the like the hand parented to the handle with the constraint here. I think you already noticed, right? The child of constraint. So you would need to do that with the other arm too if you wanted to do the same thing. Maybe we can actually just copy it over. Let's see, copy. You copy constraints. Copy constraints. Select bones. There we go. Okay, yeah. I didn't copy the keyframes. Yeah, but yeah, now you can just animate this and yeah, it will move together. I don't know how much support you need with this stuff. Maybe this already showed you enough for you to take it from here. But basically, I would also animate the IK-FK switch, right? So would only activate the IK right about here when you need that arm, because before that you would need to animate it a lot to like not be in the view. So I'm just gonna add 2 keyframes here. Yeah, but I'm not sure what you want to do with it. So yeah, I think you should be able to take it from here. Okay, what else did you write? What did you want feedback on this? The end animation looks weird. Door. It's weird. I'm not super sure what you mean with weird. I think it looks fine. Like it's a bit fast, maybe. A little bit abrupt. But it's not bad. Left hand. So the valve turning looks better. Oh, I think you want probably the left hand to like grab the valve like something like this, right? Yeah. So I guess I'll just leave it like this, and you can fine tune it. Maybe even it should even be grabbing. Yeah. Maybe. You can figure it out. You can do it. You can take it from here. The character works. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Think that's all you wanted to know. Like, if you want to know more and you're in the live stream right now, just let me know. This before, but I think, yeah, I think that's what I can help you with right now. Yeah. Okay. I'll save this and send it back to you. All right, guys. I think that is every submission from today, from the last week. So now I'm gonna work on the intro sequence a little bit. That's what I actually wanted to do today, to like start off a little bit. Oh, then we're already 3 hours in. Okay, maybe I'll do like half an hour now of doing a little edit for the intro and outro sequence for the reference, from the reference there. Here we go. All right, so I'm just going to show you all the footage first. It's basically this scientist working in his home lab on a portal door. His son is in front of the door, and he brings him a cable. He connects the cable, and that starts up the door, and the son runs through the door. The dad follows him. That's the story. And now I want to just basically find the best moments from all the takes and edit them together, so we have a nice reference for the animation. And this is the outro, where he comes back. and I'm playing the alien. The first take didn't work so well. This is also a little awkward. I think this one, the third one, worked pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, I think this third one is works pretty well. It's pretty fun. Okay, so let's prioritize a little bit. Oh, and then we also have these like middle like intersections here where we just filmed him like chasing the sun a little bit, swinging. Could be cool. Yeah, also this one was pretty good. A cool little jump. Yeah, this is also pretty good. Okay, so I think the outro, this one is pretty much good to use. Yeah, I don't think we need something else from a different take for this to work. So it seems to work pretty well. Okay, yeah, let's figure out how to edit the intro then. It's not. This kind of works already. Yeah, just the ending here I think is better in a different part. So all of this is pretty cool. See if we have like a better reaction or maybe even better beginning on the other ones. Not so, doesn't work so well. The camera movement is a little bit chaotic. His reaction is a bit extreme. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Like his reaction there is kind of cool. How he's like slightly going back. Yeah, and then runs through it. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Okay, I guess that's it. Okay, so we can combine these two then. Yeah, I think we can combine these two pretty well. Hmm. We get this a little smoother. I'm also wondering how can I actually camera track this, because I think it's easiest to just use one of these shots as for the camera movement, and then just use the other version for the child's performance. So maybe we just use this to track for the camera, and then we just add like the child's reaction to the door being activated from the other shot here. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. So we're gonna use this as a separate reference. This one we're gonna use to track. Yeah, that should work. Okay, cool. So that's the intro, and then we use this as a reference right here. Yeah. Okay. Need any of these, then we also don't need these. This one's already great. Yeah, then we have these two intersections. Wait, did he use his left arm here? Oh, he did. Okay, but I'm transitioning into the template animation anyway, so it's fine. Yeah. Okay, cool. I think I can apply the lens undistorter on this now. And then we can camera track it. But I think I'm gonna do that next time because yeah, I'm starting to feel pretty exhausted from still being sick from streaming already for quite a while. So I'm gonna end the stream now and continue soon. Next, yeah, I mean this week. Hopefully, I'll be able to start working on this properly when I feel better. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks for